Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we find you. Happy Wednesday, friends. What's up, Raj? Hey, Stealth. Here we go again. Peter, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. Tilla, how's the Hun business going? Never a dull moment, eh? Mark, hey, our scientist, good to see you. Never a dull moment, eh? What's up, Peter? Taylor, morning. What's up, all right, X? Okay, you got a full crew here. Wow, that's cool. Whew. Well, we certainly found the bid. Hey, Chicago in the house. I used to listen to Chicago when I was young. Saturday in the Park. Great song. Hey, Redcom, how you doing? Kevin, what's going on? Well, my friends, this is what we call a weak high in market profile. So a weak high means it goes to a place where everybody can see and they sell into it. So overnight inventory is long. Okay. Most of the trading is above yesterday's close. Despite being long, when NFP came out, boom, you get that order flow. As soon as we took out the 69.83s, kaboom, right? Now, anyone who's short under 69.83 is desperately trying to cover as the market races higher. Right? The overnight low is interesting because we did a look below and fail of the previous day low, right? These markets are so precise. It is scary how precise these markets are. You know, what was our low? 69.53. My level is 69.53 and a quarter. We're off by a tick. Found the bid there, came right back up. The shorts that are trapped from 2 days ago, the shorts that are trapped here and under here, they came in like gangbusters. When we opened that door to lower price, right, they all lined up, right? They just lined up like dogs waiting to be fed. And as soon as price came down, they snatched it up, right? So learning where the buying and selling is really important in trading. And what we like to do at the Trading Syndicate, and you can join us now, you know, you get free access to our AI coach. It's only $19 a month. You're not going to find a better trading room out there at 10 times the price because we're going to teach you how to make money, right? Plain and simple, we're going to teach you as the private equity guys, we're going to teach you how to print, right? I don't know if anyone's seen that Instagram of the private equity guy. It's just too funny. It's a parody account. But yeah, they're printing, right? We're going to teach you how to print. So, overnight inventory is long. This is a market that has speculators running it. Now, speculators didn't just fall off the turnip truck. So they know where the buying is and they know where the selling is. It's their job to. You know, everyone always asks me, JJ, how do you know where the bid's going to be? How do you know that they're going to sell at that because it was my job to know that. And if I didn't know that, I would be fired so fast it would make your head spin, right? There's a sense of urgency in institutional trading that we don't have in retail. Now, I don't want you to be stressed out, but I don't want you to be asleep at the switch in these markets because you can see, right, that the ranges are huge. And when you have markets like this, look at a few days ago, our low was 67.88. We're trading 7,000 now, right? So we put a couple of hundred points on the board in just two trading sessions. Okay, we ended up doing it by squeezing the shorts, but still we're doing it, right? So you might think this market is overvalued, right? You might think it's getting ahead of itself. But the fact of the matter is the market doesn't care because the market cares about order flow and inventory. Exactly, points or no points, right? Squeeze or no squeeze, right? So if you were net position long here and you sold into this strength, right? And you sold and then you positioned yourself long yesterday and today, well, you're going to be selling everything but the kitchen sink up here. Well, actually, I would include the kitchen sink. I'll sell everything, right? We are so close to all-time highs. And I told you guys, right? I told you guys a little while ago that these are the big levels that you're going to have to look for. 70.30 and 67.88. Right? Hey, see money. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, Neela, it's called NFP. It was out at 8:30 this morning. Non-farm payrolls. So what happens is if the inventory is here and news comes in, people are net long here, right? So they will raise price, and anyone who's short there will scramble to cover and push price up, which allows the people who are net long at 69.60, 70 to sell at 7,000 and make themselves some jet fuel. Okay? So the market did a look above and fail of 70.30, and then we did a look below and fail of 67.88. The target is back to 70.30. Okay? So, Neil, what's going to happen in this market is there's going to be inventory and order flow, and it'll never change. News is a catalyst. So, if those large position traders are net long and any kind of good news comes in, they will raise price, right? Because, 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 going begging? Anyone? No coffee yet, folks? Why would you raise price? Why do 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 you raise price? Because you see buyers. Now I can tell how many people are listening to me. Right? When you see buying, you raise price. When you see buying, when you see them walking out of the store, what do? Wait, wait, my friend. I'll give you a good price. Wait, wait, wait. Right? Right? So now what are we going to do? Right? Let's go take a look and see what's shaking here. Okay? We have, hang on one sec, folks. Yeah, when buyers leave, what happens when you go into a store and you're like, ah, it's too expensive, and you walk out the door? They're like, wait, my friend, wait, wait. I'll give you a better price, right? And why do we do that? Because it's not a hot tub. It's not a food processor. It's not a car tire. It's a market. There we go. Someone was listening. Right? It is a free market. It is the last bastion of capitalism. So we have a what we call a weak high, which means it stopped right at the previous day high. That's a market profile term, right? And what does that mean? It means the sellers stepped in at 7,006 and started selling into it, right? So they're going to try and sell it for as high as they can, but they're not going to do it unnecessarily. Because wouldn't you rather sell at 7,000 than at 69.90? Of course, you didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday. But if people are competing, then you're going to lower price. Let's go see what that looks like. Okay? So there's our overnight high. Right? I think it's just a tick from the previous day high. Right? And then the sellers stepped in the next half hour candle. And you can clearly see that in the 1 minute chart. Right? Our sellers are here. Right? They were here. They moved down. They moved down. They moved down. We should ask the AI that. I don't know the answer. Let's ask our AI, Hex. Bot is thinking. Do I think shorts are trapped below? I know shorts are trapped below. I don't have to think about it. I'll show you. Check this out. That, my friend, is where the shorts are trapped. They're trapped from 86 to 99. Because when we took out that high, anyone who was using that as a stop is trapped underneath. And they are bid to cover right now at 99.25. So when the market comes down, sees those willing buyers, they're like, and lifts price. I know for a fact that they're trapped. It's beautiful. That is market profile. And market profile shows you where the bids are and where the offers are going to be. You can then go in to the neighborhood. One moment, please. Someone's at the door. So, sorry, right? See, our AI is just amazing. Eh? Look at that. It gives you the answer, and then it goes, are you asking because you scalp and want to anticipate microstructure shifts at the open, or because you are considering stock futures versus ES spreads? It's just amazing, right? Okay, now getting back to market structure. So our short sellers, our beloved short sellers, God love them, because without the short sellers, there wouldn't be a bid, right? So they're trapped in this big box. So this is, you can consider this, there used to be a kids show that we used to watch. This is like the tickle trunk, and that's full of bids. Okay? So now what we do is when this thing opens, we're going to see how many of these bids we can fill. If we get a lot of people coming into 7-Eleven on the open or Walmart, we'll lift the offer. Otherwise, we are going to go down and fill all the bids here. Because guess what? Our supply, our cost basis is here. So we can sell this puppy all the way down to 69.76 and still make money. The thing about our AI, Ed, is that Ray and Steve and the Boffins, the guys who are doing the coding, they are continuously improving it. So it might. It'll probably be something in the future. Right? It's scary. When AI is properly programmed and fed proper information, and then it starts to learn off that proper information, it's frickin' scary how accurate it is. And our AI will prompt you and say, okay, here's the answer. Now what do you want to do? How do you want to use it? What kind of time frame do you want to trade? What kind of risk do you want to take? Right? It's beautiful. Right? And this is coming from an old guy. As they say in the UK, I'm a geezer. Right? And technology, I'm like, just poke them in the eye and hit the bid, right? Back in the days of paper tickets. So I don't adopt technology easy unless I can tell that it's good, and this is good. Okay. All right. Enough advertising. Right. So let's go see what we're doing now. Right. Is we're going to be looking for the bid. Right. And the guy who gave me the nickname Gorilla, every morning he'd call me up. Right. I miss this phone call every day. He'd call me up every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Gorilla, you big bitch, go find the bid. Click. Those are trading instructions. So when we were doing a deal, when we were doing his deal, the market would open and I tap, 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 keep selling. And then when I hit a wall, when I'm selling, that's where the big buyers are. As soon as that big bid is found, I'm going to bid above that and lift my offer. So that buyer is now going to push his bid up, and then all the tire biters are going to come in and start chasing price. Right? And when the tire biters come in and chase price, bam, that's when I nail them. And that's how we sell at higher prices. And that, my friends, is called distribution. Okay? So right now, we've got bids at 69.98 half. You can see the offer is running away from 69.98 half, like the pretty girl at the high school dance who's running away from you when she sees you coming. Right? That's what's going on right now. The offer is like, playing hard to get. Right? Hey, Pollux, where have you been? Our friendly neighborhood crypto market maker. What's going on with the 0 and 1 mafia, man? Give us some inside info. I think you guys went from making a market to breaking a market. What have you guys been doing? Oh, lots of layoffs with the 0 and 1 mafia? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Hey, don't break this Bitcoin thing, okay? Just because I call it the coin of bitterness doesn't mean you guys need to break it. Oh no, you got laid off? Oh man. That's okay. You'll land on your feet, brother. That's okay. We'll get you back in the chair. Hey, Juan, ¿qué pasa, hermano? ¿Todo tranquilo? Now look, did you see the point of control move up to 7,001? That, my friends, is distribution. Yeah, you'll be back in the chair quick. Crypto OTC. Very interesting. Keep us informed if you need a reference or anything, although I don't know. They take references from proper villains. I'll give you one. There's nothing like cascading margin calls to get everybody out of a market. My goodness. It's like a snowball. It starts picking up steam. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's right. You guys are completely unregulated. Right? So this is distribution here at 7,000. Right? Yeah. You guys are you guys use so much leverage too. This must be nuts. It'll pop back. You just got to rebuild a new cost basis and off we go again to the races. Right? Look at the offer. Now you see where I put that white line just around 7,003 and change? So we'll expect a seller there because that's where they were before. Let's see if they're there again. Boom, there they are. Right? To use the immortal words of John Madden, boom. Right? Now, if those sellers see buyers, they're going to lift price, and they're going to lift price up to here, which is just underneath 7,005, you see? And the overnight point of control was down here at 69.67, and all the way up to 7,001. That's what we call beautiful distribution. I'm trying to learn how to speak Spanish, one. Every time I go to Spain, I'm like, oh my God, this place is like heaven. Okay, there's the seller. See? Look. See? Every time a market sells off and then starts to creep back up, if you're long, your thought in your head should be, where are the bastards? Where are those sellers? They're hiding behind the trees. They're hiding behind the bushes. And they're just waiting for price to get up so they can shank us. Right? So if we're long 7,000, 7,001, and we know that they're going to be, you can see them behind the bushes at 7,004 and a half. Sell 7,004. Get out before the bastards take your bid. See? Always, if I have a level, front run the level on the sell. Don't ever try and front run a buy. Aha, that's something I've got to write down. Because when you try and front run a buy, you don't know that the order flow is going to be there. The more reliable order flow are those bastards are going to be in the bushes selling, right? Never front run a buy unless you've got a lot of capital, right? And you can take heat, right? Always front run a sell. Right? Always front run a sell. Because they're going to be there. They're going to be in the bushes. They're waiting to sell because they have size. So if they sell 4 3/4, they're going to sell again. Why using 1 minute? Because it gives me lots of information, Luis. And besides, I'm a fast trader, right? I'm a scalper. I'm not sure if we can use that word scalping anymore. It's not politically correct. But you guys haven't come up with a better one. So I like a 1 minute chart because if this is a map of the city, then this is the map of the neighborhood we are in that city. And it gives me insanely accurate information. Oh God, they're going to open this on a gap, aren't they? Rat bastards. Right? So if we open above yesterday's high, it's going to be a gap. Now see how it's kind of farting around here? Give it some time. Don't try and predict whether or not we open on a gap or not. Right? Don't try and predict. If we do open on a gap, the one thing is not all gaps fill right away. Okay? That thing where people say all gaps fill, that is the biggest piece of BS there is. We got gaps from COVID that haven't filled. So if it opens and you're shorting and the market can't get underneath the overnight or previous day high, it's because the bid is in. Right? So be careful about that. Okay? Now, levels. Let's go look at our levels. Here we go. Circus is open. Let's look for the bid, folks. Right? No gap, which is good. Right? That's good. But we've got bids right at that point of control. Check it out. Look for the previous day high. Now they're running stops, okay? Now look for bids on the overnight high and the previous day high. See how it came down, tried to get underneath 7,008, and then starts ripping to the upside. Okay? So now watch for the backfill. Whoop, there's the backfill. Do you see how it tagged the overnight high? And the market looked like it sat on a chair with a nail sticking out of it. That's because there's buyers there. Okay. So now we see that there's sellers up there at 7,010 and a half. Now we're going to backfill a little bit. Look at the point of control right now. See, that's all short covering, right? Found buyers, right? The problem with shorting a market at all-time highs is there's not a lot of overhanging supply. Oh, that's a good long AZS. Put your offers out, brother. I don't trust this thing, right? Thanks, Bo Hunter. Now watch the offer. It's going to come down to try and find those buyers, right? I'm looking for 6.25. So if you are shorting, but it can't break that previous day high, be careful. See? But there are sellers at 9.75, 9.5. Let's see if we've cleared them out now. Because if they're competing, they'll push price down. See? We're going to go test that previous day high again. So be careful if you're long, right? As soon as the short sellers see sellers at 6, they will pull their bids down to 4 automatically. Watch. But if they don't see size at 6, see, look, I told you how they're coming down. Coming down, coming down. There's a bit of a bid at 5.75. Coming back over the previous day high. I feel like I'm announcing a horse race. And it's Secretariat coming around the second turn, followed by Seattle Slew. Okay, told you, we're looking for the open. We're looking for the open. Remember, inventory is very long. Sell into strength. Right? Don't take anything for granted in this market. Okay? It's the beginning of the year and nobody knows what's going on yet. Now I'm looking to see when we get over 7,008 if there's a seller. There is a seller, and then they're at 6. They just showed their hand. Did you guys see that? Now, if you are shorting, right, your danger zone, right, your danger zone is if it gets to the open, right? See, watch. You see, as you came down into that 7,000 level where those single prints are underneath, it caught a bid and it started moving back up. But as soon as it starts moving back, I'm like, oh, where's the seller, right? So I shorted 7,001, and I covered one at 98 and one at 97, and I am flat at 98.25. Quick 3 points, right? So I shorted one because I saw the seller, right? I had to leave a bit of a bigger stop, but then I put my bids down here before the single prints, right? Now, remember, these people, their job is to sell, to distribute. So remember, their cost basis is down here under 69.73. They've got some paper here at 92. So it should kind of slow down as we come to 95. If it doesn't, that means the sellers are competing aggressively, right? When the sellers compete aggressively, you get those big red candles, right? But look at that. We found the bid, right? I told you 95. Where'd we go? Right to 96.5. And look at that, short covering bid. So if you were short from the previous day high, you should have been covering somewhere here at 98.99, right? Make sure you pay yourself, right? Especially if you have a small account, right? Don't let these things get out of control, right? Take your profits because these ranges are huge and it's very easy to get upside down, right? So when you get paid, take the paycheck, right? Now we're getting lower. My ultimate destination would be 69.86, which is VWAP. there's a tiny little bit of inventory here between 88 and 92. In a slower market, we would slow down and find a bid here and lift. But this market's pretty fast, and you got to always remember the wholesalers are long down here, 78, under 78. But as soon as they see buyers, they're going to raise that offer. See how it's raising? So we actually did come down and we respected this little cost basis here. See? Look. And the next one is here and here. Right? And this is a simple way to trade. There's no complex math. You know, you don't need, you know, it's just repetition of the same thing over and over again. Now, if you were going to go long, wait for the next candle, right? And if you're long, if it holds 95, right, watch, it's going to come down and test 95. It's going to test that bid, right? Don't buy it until you see it test 95 quarter. See? Because when you chase price, that's when they trap you. And then you get stopped out. Then all the sellers get stopped out, and then the price goes back up. Wait for that to happen. See? And if it's struggling at 95 and a quarter, 95 half to get back over, don't buy it. Just chill. Okay? And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, take it easy. Right? If it's chopping around a big level, don't get involved. Pretend that you're in a snowstorm and you're waiting for the snowplow. The big traders are the snowplows. They will let them plow the road and you just follow them. Okay? Right now, they're drinking coffee in the snowplow. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? How's Rocky Mountain High? You finally got rid of the flu after a month? Oh, good. That's good. You know, I still remember I had all these old clients who had they were remnants of the Denver Stock Exchange. You're too young to remember. But Denver used to have a huge penny stock exchange. Found bids at 92. Right? So this back and forth, you got to be careful of that back and forth. This was in the 80s. Man, I heard some stories. Now, I wouldn't go long until the next candle at least. And I need that candle to open and stay over 96 because I know there's a seller in the bushes at 98. Yeah, but Leslie, in dog years, I'm 250. Or trader years, right? Because traders age a normal person, yeah, like a year for a normal person is like 7 for a trader. There we go. Now, can we clear out those sellers at 699? No, they're still there. Right? They're still there. I don't see an A plus setup yet. On the chart, it looks like an A plus setup, but I see sellers here, so my execution would have to be so precise. And it keeps going back and forth over my level. So I'll wait, right? Let's see here. Crab Apple's up $2. Microsoft's down 5. Nvidia's up 3. Tesla's up $10 almost. Leaping lizards. Right. I'm still looking for VWAP, but I am not short. I took my one trade. I'm going to chill. Now, I got to say I'm short biased because there's so much inventory above us and it's a speculative market, right? I think, but I can't tell for sure that there's a big bid down here at 87, 88. But I won't know until we come and give it a love tap. Right? So this kind of chop, when it's chopping around here like this, you can see it's rotating between 92 and 98. So I'll wait for this next candle. If I had $5,000, I wouldn't trade it. If I only had $5,000 to trade with, and let me ask you, Michael, what is your level of skill? Right? If your level of skill is not that great, get a funded trader account with companies like Apex and use their money to learn how to trade. If you are skillful, a $5,000 contract depends if you're profitable or not. Okay, 4 years trading experience doesn't tell me anything. I've taught people with 20 years of trading experience who've never made any money. Are you consistently profitable? Do you have a trade setup? Do you manage risk well? Do you respect your capital? If none of those things apply, or even one of those things is missing, go funded trader. Pay the 30, 40 bucks. I've taught people with 20 years of experience who've done nothing but lose money. So experience is nothing. Are you consistently profitable? And how well do you manage risk? Tough questions, right? Use OPM, brother. Other people's money. Hey, Anne-Marie, how are you? Now we're waiting for the snowplows to come out here and see if they can clean this area up. But I have no interest in participating, right? This kind of chop, if you ever tried to raise money for a deal and you go to a billionaire and you ask them to write a check for a couple of $100,000, they look at you like you smell. So when the market's like this, right, it's a mosh pit. Ooh, somebody remembers the mosh pit. Hey, I was at the very first Lollapalooza. That seller should be still at 98. Right? Jane's Addiction, Chili Peppers. Good times. Right? So when it's choppy, just be like a rich person and go, ew, I'm not interested. Right? Now we're lifting, right? If you miss a trade, it's okay. There'll be another one. There's going to be a seller up here anyway at 2. Right? Sometimes I miss these big green candles. So what just happened here were enough people were short here and realized, and they all went to cover at the same time. Now, I wasn't really on the ball because I was joking around about mosh pits. Had I been really quick, I might have been able to grab 97, 98 and sell 7,002. Yeah. Right? But that's in a perfect world. Nah, it's not your fault. I'm not that quick this morning, Anne-Marie. No. No. It's not your fault at all. I miss trades all the time. Right? But the nice thing is there's always another trade. Here we're going to come back down to 95 and a quarter. right? With that news and this sort of these single prints, you can kind of think of this as a gap in the middle of a session, right? There's a big, strange order flow there. These moves are savage. The candles are big and it's choppy, right? The speculators have, the thing is, the large traders have the advantage because they spend millions on software and tech. They have insane amounts of capital. So they can be offside 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand on a trade, no big deal. For us to be offside 50 grand on a trade means, uh-oh, right? Hey, Eric, good to see you, brother. Right? So we have a smaller margin of error. So when I'm trading, I have to be really, really cautious. I took one trade, it was okay, right? Then I'll kind of chill out a little bit, right? Because I don't want to give the money back. I'm old, so I'm cheap, right? Ask me to borrow $50 and I'll go, why do you want to borrow $5, right? So I'm cheap. I don't like to give back money, right? I've been taught and trained not to give back money, right? Because I was trained by savage old men and women, right? Who are multimillionaires but took the bus to work. See that offer lift? Now we know there's going to be a seller at 99 and they stepped in at 98. Let's see if they lift. It's really choppy. Don't feel bad if you're not trading this, okay? Don't feel bad if you're not trading this. I'm seeing the bids move up, so I should have probably bought 97, stopped 95 and a quarter, and selling 99, 7,000, but I'm not fast enough just yet. There's that I really want that seller to get cleaned out. You can see the seller has been here, 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 here. They let it go for 2 minutes and then they're back again, right? It's very choppy, right? So, like I said before, don't worry if you're not trading this. Sometimes the open is very difficult to trade. Sometimes the path is not clear. The large traders themselves are kind of like, ugh, right? Nobody wants to put on size near an all-time high, right? Just relax, make some notes. It's a great learning experience. Here we go, here we go, big red candle. Here comes big red. Can we take out those 92s or is that bid still there, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, should I be in a trade? I'm thinking, is that 92 bid there? No, it's starting to move. See, so those sellers are starting to price compete, right? We sold as much as we could here between 92 and 98. Now we got to put her on sale, right? Now, if there's enough people trapped long above VWAP and there are no buyers in the market, we will slice through VWAP like a hot knife through butter and come down to 80, right? So if we break VWAP, your target is 84 and change and then 80. But there are still some bids in this green box. We filled quite a bit of it though, didn't we? Right? We ran out of buyers up here. We put it on sale. Right? This is what we call a distribution cost basis. Right? You could use this, if you were just starting out, you could use definitely this here, this little square. You could use this as a cost basis. And then right there, and then you would double it to the upside, double it to the downside. That's perfectly valid. Distribution or accumulation works because it's all the same product, right? It's not like this morning we were running a coffee shop and this afternoon we've got a massage parlor and tonight we're running a tire store, right? So the business is all the same. We're selling the same inventory. So whether you use an accumulation cost basis or a distribution one, it's going to work. It will always line up. It's I use the massage parlor because we used to have this broker at our firm. And this guy, he was a stockbroker. He had a body shop. He had a massage parlor. He had a sandwich shop. He had a laundromat and a nail salon. So he always had multiple sources of income. And anytime the big traders busted out and they needed to borrow a couple of grand, they went to him. And he was liquid. And he would just grind for pennies. But he always had, he always had a $500,000 in cash that he would loan out. And the guy took the bus to work and he wore acrylic sweaters. But when the Armani crowd ran out of money, that's who they went to because he was always flush. Good old TC. He had good business. Hey, I dented my car. Oh, yeah, here, come see me. Right? So she's trading a little heavy here, which means sellers are getting desperate, right? Oh, yeah, he drove it to old Toyota, too, when he did drive. Most of the guys I've met who have really crazy money don't show it at all. I know guys, some of my clients, I mean, I used to wire 40, 30, $50 million a month to their offshore institutions. And then you'd go and meet them in New York and they look like they delivered pizza for a living. You'd never know that they were worth like $800 million. I had one of my guys, he used to live in Flushing, in Queens. He was worth easy 700 million bucks. There's nothing to do here. I don't see a trade yet. Sorry, folks. Right now, if you are positioned short, right, your danger zone is 95 and a quarter. And if you're a larger trader, your out would be 98, right? And you're looking for that break of VWAP, right? There you go, Ed. Very curious to see what's going to happen here. What's our next move? Oh, the chop. Don't let this frustrate you. Don't let this frustrate you. If you're trading and you're just starting out, right, use a prop account because you're going to make mistakes. We all do. This way you can be wrong and not chew through your 5 grand, your 2 grand, your 8 grand. Save that money for when you got the skill. Filled the single prints, didn't we? Down underneath VWAP. And we're coming into cost basis. So if you're short, maybe use my levels and take back, like if you're short here, buy a little here, buy a little here, buy a little here, and your destination is going to be 80 3/4. Oh, went right through it like a hot knife through butter, right? Coming down, your ultimate destination is 72, which is where that W low is. This is where the news started, right? And that rip happened. So anyone under these levels here is short. That's why they're bids. I'm waiting for the next candle. And if that next candle can't get over VWAP, it could be, you could even initiate another short. Yeah, I tried to sell 83 1/4. No dice. Did not get a fill. Should have just hit the bid. There we go. Right, and we are looking, see how the seller was here, then here. That's why I tried to short 83 1/4. I should have just hit the bid, right? And then started to cover in the, under 80. That's okay. That's okay. And now we're coming down to that cost basis. Yeah, RTY and YM retraced the news, and we've retraced a good amount of it. We're almost down to where the news started, the move, right? And that's the problem with these markets. They are very, very speculative. Do I take profit with limits? What I do is if I was short 83 1/4, I would have put buy orders down at 80 and 79. And if those buy orders didn't get hit, I would hit the buy ask, flatten, done. If you're not fast, you need to practice doing that. The only time I ever use the flatten button is when I'm in trouble and the market's moving quick because it's a market order. I never market order in. I'm trained to buy on the bid and sell on the offer. That is how I've been trained. That's 30 years of training, right? We buy on the bid, we sell on the offer. If the market is in motion and your level of certainty about the trade is high, you can take the offer. But as soon as you are in that trade and your stop is put in and that you're executed, have your sell order out. If you're short, as soon as you're short, go put in your buy orders, your covers, because this market waits for no one, right? So had I been short 83 1/4 and I didn't cover, if I was waiting for 76, it would have come back all the way back up to 84 almost, right? I like to take profits. I do not like to leave money on the table, right? I don't mind trading for longer time frames, but in a fast, choppy market, right? I'm not trading for glory. I am trading for income. I just want to pay my bills. There's VWAP. See? So we found some bids down here in our cost basis, right in the middle of it, rotated right back up. Now let's see where the cookie crumbles. Hmm. There's 77. Looking for 72. 73 is the first stop. I'm not short. I should have shorted that. That's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been up since 4:30, so we're dropping in. There's 73 and 3/4. Not a half yet print. Good now, Jonathan. Protect that money. Good stuff, Jiraj. A little bit of rotation back up. Now, when the market, after a big candle like that, what I care about is where they're going to sell. It's just inventory, my goal. How you doing? Right? We're just moving inventory back and forth like a used car lot. The selling's really not that strong, right? We use the short position in the overnight to blow out a bunch of product over 88. Now we've put it back on sale. Coming right back down to that 73 level where we were going back and forth. You see this? There's a cost basis here, right under VWAP, under the old VWAP here, right? So that's how markets work, right? You take this cheap stuff, you go sell it for as much as you can, and then you put it on sale, and you come right back to cost basis. So it's not a huge sell-off. It's just a normal liquidation. It seems big because the high is all the way up at 7,011 and we're at 70, 60. These ranges are huge, right? These ranges are massive, right? So you can get in and get out, make a couple of points here, make a couple of points there. And as long as you don't overtrade, at the end of the day, you got a nice little bit of cash. But as soon as you start taking trades that don't make sense, right, that don't make business sense, you're going to start losing money. So if we break 73, I'm looking for this area right here, just under 70. And we're dropping in, we're dropping in. And we're coming all the way back to yesterday's close. Right? Remember I said overnight inventory is long? We were looking for the trade to the downside. Right? It took a while, right? They sold some good paper, right? Look at all the contracts they sold. Look at that beautiful distribution, right? So, folks who don't understand how markets work, let me try and break it down. This is the warehouse where we load the trucks. This is the highway to the store. So this is at the fancy store. I don't know what the fancy store is now, Saks Fifth Avenue. And when people don't want to buy it anymore, we load the trucks and we take it back, and this is TK Maxx. Right? That's how markets work, and it's the same thing every time. Right? It's the same thing. So as we come down, I'm curious about this level here, which is the bottom of yesterday's cost basis. Right? It's the bottom of yesterday's cost basis, and we're right at the bottom of the overnight cost basis. So if we have to, we'll mark it down further and drop it under this 70. You've done 300 odd round lots? Holy cow. Yeah, it's a lot of trading, man. I don't know. Sounds like your algo had some espresso. Yeah. I honestly I would caution against that, folks. That's serious overtrading. That's now I know you're automated and stuff like that, but if the trades don't make business sense, I wouldn't be taking them. So much for our discussion this morning, eh, Mike? That went right out the window, eh? So, so I take it what we talked about this morning went right out the window. uh, love you, brother. Tag the close. Now we're looking for 69.66. Looking for bids. Looking for bids. There you go, Ed. You guys all have to trade your level of skill. Now, Mike's an ex-institutional quant, so we trust he knows what he's doing. Nice trade, Ed. Well done. Oh, okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm waiting to see the bid because I haven't been shorting this thing as much as I should. Right, I had one decent trade, took one little scalp, and now I'm kind of sitting on my hands waiting for when it's obvious to me, right? So I might be a little slow this morning, right? I might not be as, the sharpest knife in the drawer, so I'll trade less, right? This keeps me from just doing stupid things. I don't trade the Russell. The Russell is one of those things that everybody trades it and then everybody. I used to call out the Russell and the ES side by side one time when it was really popular. I'd be calling both markets out side by side, right? But then everybody just disappeared. All the Russell traders blew themselves up. And then nobody asked for Russell levels or trading advice on the Russell. So I don't hear about it. I hear it now about it once every 4 months. Somebody asks about the Russell. But in the old days, they would ask about it every day. So I don't know. Sorry, I should take this off. What is good for trading, my goal, is to have one market that you know inside and out. And then you have a trade setup that you know inside and out. So there's the previous day low. Let's see if we do a look below and fail of yesterday's low. No. Constant liquidation. Next level is the overnight low. So if we take out the overnight low and we get under 52, you're pretty much set to short this thing all the way down here to 43, 44. Because I'm not seeing any bids. No, there's the bid. Spoke too soon. Where are they going to sell into it? Dang it. Damn, I tried to short 52, 53, and I missed it. Ah, slow, JJ. I'm moving like pregnant yak. That happened quick. Yeah, news, right? And order flow and inventory. Everybody was net long. They took it, they sold it, and now they're bashing the hell out of it. And we're going to be looking for the lower stops. The next lower stop is here. Found some bids there. Back up over the previous day low. Finally got some buying. There's the seller. And this is the worst kind of market. And I told you guys inventory was long at the beginning. Right? And I told you guys, take your profits when you can because this market is horribly unforgiving. Right? So if you were trying to average down along, right? It can get ugly real quick. These order books are thin, my friends. Now let's see if we can do a balance here. If not, we're going to be looking for 69.42 and 3/4. Yeah, buyers got crushed. The shorts got crushed on the way up, right? Then the longs got crushed on the way down. It's an equal opportunity spanking machine, right? I'm looking for a seller here at the overnight low. If we get back over the overnight low, look how quick, right? Look how quick that is. So if we hold the overnight low, it'll tickle its way up to the 56.5 level if we hold the overnight low. The S is very thin. If you were with us this morning, Ed, I was explaining why the S is so thin. Because even if it shows 100 aside at every tick, because of the speed of the order book, as soon as a large trade comes in, the order book just parts like the Red Sea so quickly. Right? All the orders just disappear. That's why you get those big red candles, big green candles. Right? Yeah. It's just not happening now, man. It's a different business, right? Business changes and it evolves, right? I'm short 48 and I covered 47. No, I was short 48.88 and I covered 47 real quick, and I think I got lucky on that one. There's that seller again. Right? So if you're waiting for a long, wait until the market reclaims 64, 65. This at least up here at 63. Don't try and go long here. This is where we want to let the large traders work this out. It'll clean up. Now, everybody has their opinion, right, Ed? That's okay, man. Everybody's got their own thing, and if you're making money trading NQ, beautiful, right? If you're making your money trading silver, gold, whatever you're trading, just know your market. Know your market well, so you don't get destroyed. What is year-to-date VWAP, Leslie? Do you anchor that at, I don't even know where you would put that. Do you mind giving us the number? Curious. NQ is a really fast market. Looking for 69.43. There it is right there. That's that B low from the 9th. Right, there's 43. And the next stop, right? Remember, folks, we've been distributing, right? And now we're moving down. My next level here is 33.75, and then my next level is 23. Okay, for you larger time frame traders. Yeah. Don't go long just yet. Right? Don't go long. Let the market find its bottom. Okay? Don't try and call the bottom. Let the market do that. The large traders will do that. And when they do, you'll see it. Nice work, Christian. Nice work. All right. When it starts going sideways like this, let it. Don't try and find the bottom. It's still looking for that bid. Remember, the move from, was it 3 days ago? The move when we came up from 68.64 all the way up to 7,000, that was all short covering. Those moves come apart very quickly, right? They come apart very quickly, unfortunately, right? And if you folks are really interested in upping your trading game, learning how not to lose a lot of money, come visit us at the Trading Syndicate. We'll keep you in line. Okay? See, this is just selling, selling, selling. Everyone who's long above 69.63 is puking out now. Okay? So the next stop is down here. Right? It's all the way down here of the low of the ninth. So don't try and call a bottom. Let it trade. Let the large traders find that bottom and wait till it starts going sideways. Right? Do not try and call the bottom in this thing. Now we are at 4 times discount. Let's see. We are going to have single prints because A period's all the way up here. There's a crap ton of trap supply above us. This is an inventory correction from 3 days ago. That's all it is. I've been waiting for this for a few days because we couldn't take out 70.13, right? We did a look below and fail of 67.88, and we failed to take out 70.30, which was the target. They tried. They just ran out of juice. Now, because the ranges are massive, these liquidations look like the world is ending, but it's not. I mean, sure, if you're long at 69.83 and it's trading at 69.36, your world is not good, right? But you can see, like I've been trying to tell you guys for months now, when those offers are moving lower, lower, and lower, and lower, and lower, and lower, do not try and buy a market when the offer is moving lower, right? It's just heartbreaking. Let's see if we find some bids. If we break 69.30, then I'll have to go into 8 times cost basis. Good stuff, Christian. Now protect that money that you made, eh, brother? Well done, Christian. He's done 8 days in a row with no losses. So I'm really happy to see that. Now you protect that money, my friend. Wrap your arms around it and protect it. Well done. Well done. All right. Found some bids here. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions? See, we came down to 4 times discount, right? Now let's see. That point of control is all the way up here, right? It's up here. It's up at 69.97. Let's see if we can move that point of control down, and then they'll start this thing all over again, right? It's the up and down, and it's those big moves that kill you if you're caught the wrong way. It should just go back and forth here for a bit, right? But you're going to have single prints to the downside, just like we had single prints to the upside, but this is going to be supply, right? So there are trapped longs. Basically from 69, wherever the next period opens here. We'll see where it opens. I would not go position long until the point of control moves down and you show, and we see price stability, right? Take your time. Take your time. Now, Christian, you had an 8-day streak because you're only trading your A plus setup, right? Right? And by you showing me your P&L, right? You're not over trading. Some days you only take 2 trades. Some days you only take 3 trades, right? Some days one day you took 10. Right at the edges, brother. Well done. Thank you folks for joining us. Have a wonderful trading day. Be safe out there, okay? If you want to learn how to do this intelligently, learn how not to get into trouble, come join us at the Trading Syndicate. We'll be happy to teach you. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys. Trade safe out there, okay? Bye for now.